From Omro down to Mayville, from Rosendale to the Ledge, and everywhere in between, it's time to get you caught up on everything happening in the Flyway Conference. This is the Flyway Focus Sport Report, your home for the best whip-around coverage of your favorite local teams. Now, with all the latest, here's Jordan King.
Good Friday morning to you. Well, if my math is right, there are 28 events from the Flyway Conference headed to the WIAA Track and Field Championships next week in La Crosse.
I was looking at all the times and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a hard sectional. And these girls are like 1 and 2. So I was like really excited just to be able to make it past those. And then I got to the 200 and I was just exhausted. But I'm like, okay, I'm too competitive to not make it. So I just gave it everything I had.
That was St. Mary Springs junior Grace Coon, who's headed back to state for the third straight year, and for the second consecutive year, she qualified in 3 events. She qualified in the 100-meter and 200-meter dashes, and also in the 4x200 relay out of the Horicon sectional yesterday. Coon was one of 8 events to qualify for Springs. Another was Lexi Coon in the long jump. Lexi Coon knew she had to do something special. Her PR coming into the event was 16 feet flat. She knew she'd need something better than that to get it to state.
Going to state is definitely something that I've always wanted to do. My sister went to state for long jump, so I just went up there, jumped, and magically jumped to 16.8.5.
So Grace Coon, the only competitor who qualified from the conference in 3 events, but there were several that made it in 2 events, all out of the Freedom sectional. Campbellsport's Joshua Wanley won both the 100 and the 200-meter dashes. Teammate Evan Wilcox made it in both hurdles events. Lucas Kasabuski from Omro is going in both the 800 and the 1600. WLA's Caden Schmitz was runner-up in both the shot and the discus. He'll be at state. And finally, Molly Duell from Laconia is state-bound in both the 800 and 1600. A couple of other notes from the meet up there at Appleton North. WLA's Gannon Schwartz nearly qualified in as many as 4 events. He narrowly missed out with 5th place finishes in both the 200 and the long jump, and his 4x200 relay team was disqualified after posting a time that would have been good enough for state, so Schwartz goes in just 1 event, the 100-meter dash. Last note, Campbellsport's Sienna Hewitt will head into the state competition as one of the favorites in the pole vault. Last night she vaulted 11 feet 6 inches. Her best height on the season is 2nd in the state. On to playoff baseball. 4 regional games last night, and the Flyway went 3-1. WLA had a tight one with 12-seeded Marquezan, but the Vikings found a way to get it done. Jackson Ryan hit a walk-off RBI single in the bottom of the 7th. Once again, pitcher Andy Simon was dominant and efficient. He gave up just 2 hits, an unearned run, and did it all on 73 pitches in the complete game win. The Vikings will play Kohler coming up on Tuesday. Mayville hosted Shoreland Lutheran yesterday and nearly blew a 6-0 lead late in the game. Shoreland scored 6 runs in the final 2 innings, but thanks to a run Mayville tacked on in the bottom of the 6th, they win it 7-6. Cohen Radaman and Austin Thorson, each with 2 RBIs. They move on, play top-seeded Lake Country Lutheran, one of the best teams in the state. St. Mary Springs got it all over Lourdes and not only upset, but blew out the Knights yesterday. The 10th-seeded Ledgers won 15-0, and when Max Bauer is dealing like he was last night, Springs doesn't look like a 10-seed. Bauer threw a 5-inning, 1-hit shutout, struck out 6. He only threw 51 pitches in the complete game win. And finally, Omro's season came to a close with a 10-4 loss to Wautoma. Regional championship softball games were played yesterday in both Lomira and Algoma. Let's start in Lomira. That's where 3rd-seeded Laconia upset the Lions 3-2. The Spartans are absolutely on fire right now. The winning streak for Laconia up to 7 games. Addie Maurer and Callista Vandenberg had RBIs in the first inning, and after Lomira clawed back, it was Lily Schultz who drove in what turned out to be the winning run. On to sectionals for the Spartans. And spring softball had 10th-ranked Algoma on the ropes a little bit. The Ledgers gave them all they could handle, but they came up short 2-1 the final. A couple errors plagued Springs again. Gracie Conkle gave up just 4 hits across 6 innings of work, and one of the runs she surrendered was unearned. Conkle also 2 for 2, driving in the only Ledger run. Mayville and North Fondy had to move its game to tonight at Ziegler Park because of a scheduling conflict. The winner of today's game moves on to play Laconia in the sectionals. And finally, from yesterday in regular season play, Lomira Baseball beat Slinger 4-3 in their final tune-up before playoffs. Mayville Soccer got an Ellie Woyan hat trick to beat Hustisford Dodgeland. That means the Cards are runners-up in the Flyway. And non-conference soccer saw Springs lose 1-0 to Waupun and Omro drop a 4-0 match to Howards Grove. Coming up today, already mentioned Mayville North Fondy Softball Regional Final. That's where we'll be this afternoon. WLA Soccer has its final regular season match. They play Lakeside Lutheran at the Fondy Soccer Complex, and Campbellsport Baseball hosts Living Word Lutheran for the Cougars' last regular season game. So a light schedule here on this Friday. For the Flyway Focus Sports Report, I'm Jordan King.